What's something people don't know about podcast disclaimers? They're the ultimate cover our butts move. All right, folks, let's get real. You know those disclaimers at the start of podcasts? The ones that say these opinions are our own and not our employers, friends, or anyone who might sue us. Yeah, those. Why do we need them? Because Stacey and Casey here, well, we might say something bonkers. And we don't want you blaming our bosses, our moms, or that guy who bagged our groceries last week. Nope, it's all on us, people. Think of it like this. We're just two dudes with microphones and way too much free time. And while we're at it, let's be clear. Our jokes, rants, and random thoughts, purely our own genius or nonsense. Depends on the day, so sit back, relax, and remember, if you're offended, it's definitely not because of our employers. It's all Stacey and Casey, baby. Covering our butts.
What's going on, everybody?
Hello, my name is Casey,
I am Stacy.
and you are listening and watching the
Stacy and
Casey Show.
hey,
and-
welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party. Friends gather here.
Yes,
We're
we
gonna be
do.
talking
That's over
about-
there.
Current events. Friends gather over there. Over here, it's us
We
devils.
changed the setting. Predators taking over the world is what it looks like in the back.
Lions and tigers, and
But
yes, current events, and we got really cool shit to talk about. And man, it's looking beautiful outside, man. What have you been up to?
man, well, we did the circus this weekend with little man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Always a great time. Always a great time. Family time's the best time, but you know the drill. We work.
What's your favorite part of the circus? Because I haven't been in a long time.
Hey, so there's this dude from Trinidad that runs out on the stilts. This year he was such a fucking letdown. But normally he's the best part. He gets it really hyped. Like it's amazing watching him be, 12 foot in the air, running around, getting hyped, the strength. But this year it might have been like little man would say the motorcycle. They actually had a dirt bike in there doing backflips. They had a guy get shot out of a cannon.
Oh man, you had me at a guy get shot. I was like, oh, man.
No, I'm not there.
Where was this at? Downtown.
But that was pretty cool. That left little man speechless as far as the shit getting shot out of a cannon. There are
That's
parts of
badass.
it though that I really don't understand why they're there. Not gonna lie to you, like the dancers on the ring and like
Just boring.
completely.
Completely boring.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
It's almost like an intervention before the next cool shit happens.
Yeah, it's basically a
filler.
staging moment. Exactly, a
Yeah.
filler. They
They can only
see a
play with
stage
lines
show.
in front of you for so many minutes.
Yeah, if they would have brought out lions, we wouldn't have been there.
Oh,
Let me tell
really?
you.
Is that
No,
what-
I'm
There's a
not gonna
circus.
lie to you. Fuck
Every
that.
every commercial I've
Hey.
seen for the circus is always like lions.
Yeah, that's great.
You didn't see one fucking
Barnum and
lion?
Bailey. You know what I'm saying? This was the Shriner Circus. Shout out to them.
Okay, so I guess ever since those two,
But I did my good deed. Check
What'd
me
you-
out. I
you do?
don't brag normally. I normally don't brag, but I'm gonna brag on this one.
that's what somebody who obviously never brags always says.
So, Asia's mom found the golden ticket for
The golden
boys.
ticket.
Little man. When you opened it, what it said was, see him at intermission. You won something.
Oh, okay.
Hold on
okay.
to this ticket. Well, it was
extra
blatant that they gave these out at the start of the show. They gave them to somebody. Well, they lost that ticket and we found it. So we won a
Ugh.
bike.
No shit.
And
Oh man.
being a good person, and I'll be transparent, I was a good person because he couldn't ride the bike, or it might have been a different story. Let's just be honest. But I found the dad who lost the ticket and gave the bike to him because I know their kid was looking forward to it. So I feel like I was a good Samaritan there. So
Now, is that a good
That's-
Samaritan or is that just doing what's expected?
doing what's expected would have been the right thing. Would take the bike and teach the kid responsibility. My son, literally last week,
Take
if you think I'm
responsibility.
bullshitting, my son
Take
lost the tooth
responsibility.
last week.
You lost the
We
tooth.
asked him, where's the tooth? He lost the tooth. And he's like, can I write a letter to the tooth fairy? I said, do you have a tooth to give the tooth fairy?
Mm.
He's, hell, you going to trade something in and you ain't got a tooth.
And
Like, it's responsibility.
it's been a while since I had a kid that lost a tooth, and my kids aren't scrappers, so hopefully they never do.
Well, I mean, they're kids.
but how would anybody else handle that situation? Kid loses the tooth, do they still get paid? That's a good question.
No, if you want to teach your kid responsibility at the end of the day, Business is business. This is a fair transaction between you and the tooth fairy. That motherfucker's expecting a tooth. You can't, you know what I mean? If that motherfucker
from a business aspect,
that's what it is. It's a fucking business transaction, is
that
it
is
not?
one.
If you
That's a
were
good way of
receiving,
looking at it.
if you were giving a product for a currency, that is a business transaction. So if I'm providing you a tooth for something and I'm expecting money, then I think you should give a tooth. If not, you ain't getting shit.
Yeah.
And so I
And
felt
Christmas.
bad in the moment, right? And I was just like, but at the same point, then you had this bike situation, and in my head, like I said, if Stacy could have fit that bike comfortably, that dad would have had to have taught responsibility that day. And it's a tough spot as a parent. And as we haven't gotten too far in, but what part do you draw the line at teaching responsibility versus giving in and being nice?
Hey, if the kid lost the ticket, you lost the ticket. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, you could have easily justified that, but I don't know. If I had no use for the item,
Paula.
if I had no use for the item person, and man, I'd really have to contemplate that. Put myself in your shoes. Man, I don't know. If it was a bike, I probably hands down would have found the owner. If it was something like oh man, what do I really value that I would really want to take for free that I would justify? I don't know, man.
But I couldn't justify taking it from a kid. I mean, that's selfish, right? Like, one, the dad obviously was excited about this bike. He made a point to ask me, did we find the ticket on the ground? I was completely honest and transparent. Yes, we did. But will I say, was Stacy excited to get a bike? Yes. Was it a letdown? Yes. Was it for him? No. You know what I mean? There's things in here that when you play the gray line, fine line, sometimes you got to be black and white, just like the tooth fairy.
Now that you put it that way, I'm going to be real more responsive to things I find. Like if I ever find a tooth, for example, I'm going to start asking around. Anyone lose a tooth? Some little kids will be like, oh, thank God.
Thank you, Lord.
Oh, I wanted to buy a lollipop tomorrow.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, be aware.
But that's how you change shit. But how have you been? I know that was a long-winded statement, but how have you been?
Man, I've been loving life, man. Just with the weather change and like when it's just nice enough to go outside, I'll go outside. If it's too cold, I'll go out to the garage. And I've been doing a lot of forging, a lot of making knives and stuff, which ain't exciting to all of you. But if you've ever seen Forged in Fire and you like making knives, or you like the idea of like moving steel with your own bare hands, try it. It's fucking addictive and it's healthy and it's artistic. And
I can't wait. I'm coming out this weekend.
Hey,
I told you.
Speaking of which, yeah, this Sunday, this is Stacy's idea. He's like, I think it'd be cool if we went live in your garage and like, pretty much forge something, make a knife, like live, the whole step. Yeah,
I'm down.
Yeah, I can do some crazy shit with the handles. We can make you name it. Actually, we'll put in the comments what kind of things you think we can forge.
Throwing stars.
Ooh, know who might make a? Well, I don't want to.
I want to say this. Paula said, with the kid involved, finders keepers can be a lesson too. How would little Stacy feel if he lost the ticket? So, and that's fair. Finders keepers. That's why I say, if that bike would have fit him, the other dad would have had to have taught responsibility. It would have been a 100% finders keepers moment. And
what kind of bike was
it was a small little bitty bike for kids, 3 to 5 years old, maybe. So it was, now had it been like I told Asia when we got in the car, I said, if it was a dyno or like a GT Performer, hey, me and the dad could have went fisticuffs over this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm standing on my beliefs, you stand on yours. How hard are you willing to go for it? Because my son is excited for it. I'm going to stand for my son. It says you have to have the ticket at time of presentation. I have the ticket. Unfortunately, I didn't steal it from you.
There is a finders keepers law. I mean, that is a law. Finders keeper law. That's
what is it? Possession is 9/10 of the law or something?
Yeah. Hey, so, this is my latest forge item, by the way. If you like knives, this is called a kukri style blade. As you can see, it has the little cool shape to it. Has a dice handle, and working. Yeah, I'm working it, baby.
Practice makes perfect, babe. Yeah. Camp Casey, the No Diddy camp is coming together. We got the forging coming together. We got Casey, the blacksmith, coming together.
I think coming to Casey's house, it's already No Diddy. We don't need to put that in the title. Hey, it's the No Diddy Casey. Like as if to say there is a Diddy Casey camp that you might be a part of.
I mean, you said you were coming out with blue jean skirts,
like someone's gonna be banners like, "Ooh, when's the Diddy Casey camp? Is that when he comes out in the blue dress?"
So there is another option. Look at that. What's going on, Downs? I hope today got better when you left.
Oh hell, it always gets better. Ryan's always in the aisle. Just throw that football. Ugh.
Hey, please like, share, follow, let your friends know we're on. But no, as far as we've been doing a lot of talking, and history's being rewritten in front of us, and
Very much.
I'd
so.
say it's a distraction. The first thing, and I will say Casey had other thoughts. If you guys haven't seen the video where we're talking about, this shit.
All right,
right here.
everybody. Now
We're
the big
talking
news
about-
is they got these sonar pictures and they transcribed it to this. They said there's pillars that go down like 2 miles, and there's hallways that are hollow, and this whole city underground. We know that's bull. Now, using cutting edge technology, I was able to transcribe what really is going on here, and this is what it reads. This notice is to inform you that your factory warranty has expired.
Hey, I love it. I love it. It's another.
I did it before somebody else did. I know it's cheesy. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, we don't care if it's cheesy. We care if it's funny. And I
Excuse
gotta
my
laugh.
language.
You gotta laugh. But what they're talking about in that video is they're saying that the pyramids,
Mm-hmm.
they did a sonar reading, which we're gonna let somebody give you the scientific breakdown in a minute. But basically, I'm gonna give you the layman's terms. Right. Sonar reading, they found new shit underneath it, pillars and some other shit. The pyramid's been here how long? And they just now found this shit? They never found an entryway to any of this?
No, they just know it went down for a while. They didn't know how far it went down. And apparently the sonars and stuff that we did have with the technology was too weak to look and give that kind of detail that low. And let's be honest, the picture they provide without the sketches involved.
Hey, how did you get it? Like, and we're gonna show you a video where I really am with you.
And picture this. Okay, you've seen the picture that I'm talking about with all the colors. Can you imagine, like, they shoot that sonar thing and they're waiting for the picture to come up on the screen. All these scientists are gathered around, and boom, the picture comes up, and all at the same time they're like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Look at the pillars!" They're like, they all see it at the same time,
or I don't see it.
Or does one person see it and the rest of them are going, "Yeah,
we're gonna get behind that.
Oh my god, this is mind-blowing.
Discovery. New
Oh
discovery.
my god, call the news.
Call the news.
No, it goes to Diddy's house. That's where it goes. The underground tunnel, hollowed, goes to Diddy's.
Hey, we know where they're going. It is what it is.
Hey, if I don't show up to work tomorrow, I was right about that. They found me. They got me.
No, my God, they got my nigga. Oh God. Hey, but no, as far as just to kind of fill you in, give you a second, we're gonna let you watch it for a minute. It is a little bit longer, but this is explaining what's going on. And we want your opinion. What do you think? What is this a distraction from? What could they be hiding? What are they going to try to say? Are they going to say this is the aliens? Like,
kind of like the alien thing popping up again, but it's like, ooh, people are intrigued by pyramids. Let's
but what's the outcome of it? What are they trying to change here? So let's just watch it.
The Giza Plateau and the plateau itself is so incredible, so awe-inspiring and narrative shattering that I have been sitting here for the last hour trying to wrap my head around the implications of what we were just told. So this is pretty much breaking news because the new findings were announced on the 16th of March at a press conference held by the team who were studying the Great Pyramid of Giza with a non-invasive technology that was first developed by Filippo Bionde and Corrado Malanga called synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography.
Fuck, that's a
This
mouthful.
was used to explore the internal structure of the Great Pyramid of Giza. And this method leverages the analysis of micro movements typically generated by background seismic activity to achieve a high-resolution, full 3D tomographic imagery of the pyramid's interior and subsurface components. The recent findings from deploying this technology are nothing short of mind-blowing, because what's been discovered is that there are huge structures coming down from the base of the pyramid deep into the bedrock. In fact, over 600 meters deep, which then connect to structures that extend up to 2 kilometers below the surface of the ground. 2 kilometers. Massive internal structures connected to the base of the pyramid and extending deep down.
So what is this? Are they going to say it's
what we know
battery?
so far.
What does your friend think about it?
Which friend?
The one that you said it's bullshit.
Oh, that's not my friend. That's Zawi Hawass.
Okay.
Zawi Hawass is the head of antiquities in Egypt. He's like the head guy that talks to the archaeologists and gives the official narrative. In the past,
what's the narrative? Yeah, I
he's
don't get it. I do know that there's a lot of people that have been intrigued by this and distracted by this.
Oh, and actually, we have a listener, my buddy Daryl. Daryl, if you're listening, let me know if you've ever been to the pyramids and your take on this.
Yes, honestly, let us know what you think. Definitely, yeah, I'm sure he has. He's traveled. He was telling me everywhere he's been. No, my take on this is a distraction. I mean, we forget that Israel broke ceasefire, started bombing Gaza, people in tents. We forget that World War III is on the brink, and we're going to distract you with fucking pyramids so we can flood the news and the media. But meanwhile, we got Israel over here bombing shit. We are sending out war tanks over to the fucking strait or whatever, ready to go to war. We're attacking, or we're blaming the Houthis that whatever the fuck it is, that if they attack us again, it's a direct attack from Iran. I really think they're trying to distract us from literally what's about to. I think we're about to blow the fuck out of the Middle East, and they're trying to distract us before shit hits the fan.
Well, they got me distracted because that's interesting. So, I mean, that would be a horrific outcome. So let's hope not for that.
Yeah, I mean,
and on the flip side of the coin, my take on it is I'm thinking I've been lied to my whole childhood, getting taught about the mysteries of Egypt. It was taught as a mystery on how it was built, but we were led to believe that that's all there was to it. So I wasted all this time as a kid learning shit that wasn't real. And yeah, I feel like I really missed out on a lot of precious hours. I could have been playing video games.
Man, I seen a video talking about the human anatomy and how all the gods of Egypt,
boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
How all the gods of Egypt are different body parts, from the heart to the lungs, to different ones, and I'll show it to you and we'll talk about it. But it isn't right now. I want to find the video in detail. I want to send it to you to get your opinion. But it made me start thinking, like, maybe that's why they did the mummification back then and pulled out the organs and took out different things, because they were godly parts of the body and they didn't want people taking those. And then you think about mummification, preservation. Now you put this as an energy bank. Were they fucking sending these people to heaven? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck was going on? Like, afterlife was real to them.
Since you brought up mummification, a fun fact: did you know that? Do you know why? Whenever they found mummified female preserved bodies, they were always more decomposed than the males.
They were sexually assaulted.
Wow, your mind automatically goes there.
No, that was like a true thing. That they did certain things to them during mummification to prevent that.
They actually the real reason is they were sleeping with the dead. So they actually let them decompose more before they preserved them, so that way people wouldn't want to
essay them.
Yeah, essay them. Okay.
Hey, the fact that I was like, I know you're not fact checking me on this. I know I'm right.
I heard it on that Morbid Facts guy. That Morbid Facts.
Hey, it's
number 467.
Hey, but it's honest. The things that you gotta remember: grave robbers, necrophilia was a big thing. You know what I mean? So necromancing was a big thing in the Egyptian. You know what I'm saying?
They even made light of it in the movie Bad Boys Part 2 when he was on ecstasy and he was in the dead body and he was looking at the boob and he was getting like he was kind of checking it out. But
I don't watch movies for weird.
And it was like
that.
Yeah, it is creepy. I remember that's why I thought of it. I was like, remember that part of the movie? Like it was creepy.
There have been beings here for so much longer than we were taught, and you're not right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Is what I meant to say. I believe there's a dude named Graham, which is who Joe Rogan was talking about. Which I watch all his documentaries. He kind of traces where are we from. He's really searching. Like matter of fact, here I'll just let you hear the end of this. What Joe Rogan has to say about
extremely hostile to Graham Hancock, but Graham Hancock and him have now become friends.
Oh yes, I do know this guy.
Coordinating. Graham is a lovely guy. People that like are enemies with him just need to get to know him and hang out with him. He's a genuine, real human being.
So at the end of that, what he says, he's a real human being. He's searching for the beginning of life. And there's a lot of things that this man has been able to discover about length of human history and how far back we go. So I'm with you on There have been beings here way longer than we believe. My question is, why do they lie about it? Right? What? And I always
Who's
go
they?
with the power of be, whoever writes the history books, right?
Okay.
So I've always been a big believer in history is his story, right? And obviously being black, we were taught different about history books and certain things. But I always wonder when if you could get a person that's really been taught, like when you look at the Incans and the Mayans and when you hear their stories coming from them, having that passed down, you have telephones, so things have been distorted, but at least their history was kept a little bit, right? You have that in every culture, the Chinese culture, the Japanese culture. So it makes you wonder what culture was here or in Egypt that they were trying to wipe out that they wanted to control that culture and why. And a lot of people will say the Anunnaki.
Talking about what the culture that is responsible for this new
For the
discovery
beginning of Earth.
I
If
thought
this
we're
is true about them pyramids,
Yeah.
there are pyramids all over the world.
Yeah, so if that means they go down like that
But look,
underneath all of them.
Graham Hancock
Mhm.
talks about them being power banks.
Okay.
Now, if that's the case, these could be teleportation devices.
Right.
That would explain the spread of knowledge and the spread of history.
Okay.
What power of whoever is about to write the history book on this part of history, what are they going to alter in the favor of who? What's going to be changed? Because that's going to alter history altogether. Because then it says that the pyramids weren't built the way we thought they were built.
Well, I mean, all we can do is sit around and wait and come up with theories on what they're going to say about it. I mean, that's
hundreds of years later.
Yeah, I mean, what have we thought of till now?
What do we know about Julius Caesar, Napoleon? We know the side of the story of the people that won.
Exactly.
So we don't really know their side.
So you have to go find the answers for yourself.
I hope time travel becomes real.
Yeah.
I just know that when it comes down to it.
The movie Stargate, they had that the aliens came down, they're like, why'd you choose human form? They're like, because your bodies are so easy to fix. To heal. To heal. Because they put them in that healing chamber.
Oh. Well, like you said, our childhood is a lie.
Yes, my childhood, it's a lie.
No. I know you had some things you wanted to talk about. Do we want to talk about the vices and addictions first? I know you had a Casey's thought that you wanted to spread.
Dude, actually, when you're just now talking about this, I mean, everybody all of our listeners, for the most part, probably seen The Matrix or know the concept. It's where Neo is the one, whatever. He's got his real body, and they teach him shit.
Facts, Marcel.
Huh? They teach him shit by shoving a thing in the back of his head and downloading programs to make him smarter, right? Like, and like they go, and his eyes twitch, and he goes, "I know kung fu," and he's like, "Show me." And you know, and then they go into that simulation and they practice. You sound like you had a breakthrough. What was
did you see The Prison of the Future?
The Prison of the Future? No.
They're saying that they have a way to install a life sentence to a criminal of what it would have been for them to serve 25 years in the matter of days with the programming. They can literally plug you in and your brain will have real memories like you really lived this, all the horrors of prison without you ever stepping foot in it.
This is how I know we're all relatable.
Insane.
Because my idea was going that exact same path, a little bit tweakishly different, where we are all like, there's like a Neo, us, and when they plug him in to teach him a skill, right now we are learning the skill of patience, troubleshooting, living, and the only thing you can learn by the concept of time and what takes place over time. You cannot teach that by the push of a button. So this is actually a program where we're just plugged in, learning all this shit, and then like 2 seconds later, we're gonna wake up and go, I understand what it is now to be a human and live a whole life, and I learned it in 2 seconds. So,
wait, that what happens when you die?
When you die, there's no blank spot between.
I'm saying this: my mom, my dad. I've seen multiple people. My grandfather. I've watched people with it. That last 30 minutes to an hour is a full download of all your memory sequences. My mom sat, and I've talked to you about this before. Sat and laughed in a chair, and I was like, "What are you laughing at?" She's literally seeing me as a kid, telling me a memory of me as a child, vivid as fuck. So when I think about that, and I think about at the end, you see all in the movies that you have that replay of life.
And those people that say they die for a second and they come back,
Mhm.
and they say the same thing, that they see their whole life flash before their
And
eyes.
they see
It's like a
where they
download.
should have changed, where they see all this shit. Now, if that's the case, what if that's all your shit going to a hard drive? Just in a hypothetical matrix world, that was right before you're about to go. They were like, let me grab that information from you.
And I think the real explanation for it, as I've been told, is that really it's just like at the point of dying, there's that extreme shot of adrenaline, that endorphins that overload your body, and it makes you have vivid, sensational dreams and colors and brights, and maybe your
So-
memories spark back, or it's downloading to a mainframe.
So that's the true definition. I will say that's also the death spirit or the final moments. They call it a death surge when they're having conversations with you, laughing and joking, and the next thing you know, it's a death surge. That's real shit. The endorphins of the brain trigger. This got real morbid. We're not trying to go there, but
I watched a rooster die in front of me yesterday, and I can tell you the whole sad story. Long story short, I got home from work and he was still alive, surprisingly enough.
that's your fault.
And I had to kill him all the way, but he didn't die like right away. And I saw like almost like the life leave his body. He went from breathing, and I had to like, and every now and again you see one more like little puff of his chest. But with the moment he was gone, his eyes just looked different. Like it was like life gone. Like you see the moment, the transition. And
The
I was
moment
sitting
the
there
soul leaves the
staring at
body.
him, and I'm not gonna tell you exactly the whole deal because it's not my point. My point is
You see the
something leaves the
disconnect.
body.
You see, I mean, they have it on camera. Science has proven the soul leaves the body, so that energy leaves. There's an energy dispersion when you pass. That is a true, proven scientific theory. The other side of that is it's same with humans, same with anything. I mean, when you kill a deer, by the time you get to the body, when you look at it, it could have been 30 seconds. The eyes are glazed over. It's dead. There's no life in it.
And when you kill a deer because you're a hunter, is that because you're hunting for a vice or a passion? Are you doing it for food? Or are you doing it because you're addicted to killing things and you're a
I
serial
don't
killer?
think you're addicted to killing things for hunting. I think that part is population control. So you're doing your part as an American citizen.
How about the
Deer hunting.
Dexters? The ones that are
Yeah,
hunting
but-
cats and not telling anybody.
Yeah, that's something totally different than a deer, though. Like population control on deer, if we just let them run rampant, we'd be fine. There'd be car accidents all over the place. But I will say, as far as I don't think if hunting becomes an addiction, that'd be weird. I could see it being a vice.
You see where I was going with this?
Yeah,
though.
but I'm saying I could see it being a vice where it could, get expensive in life.
Man, you always hear about hunters talk about their guns.
Oh shit, their guns, their camo, their
Yeah.
calls. You got deer calls.
What's the
duck
most
calls.
expensive things that hunters have to get? Is it the tags? I don't know. I've never hunted anything professionally.
Well, a firearm, obviously.
The firearm, is that the most
No,
expensive?
no, the side by side to haul it out.
Yeah, is
Or
that
the
a necessity?
or the ticket on the plane, because some people like to go elk hunting. We were talking about this at work,
You can get pricey.
and I was like, man, y'all, that's crazy when I found that shit out. But what makes a vice versa an addiction? We were talking about this earlier, and
Yeah, because and you kind of it's relatable if you had a dead on addiction that you quit and you filled it with something else that you knew was an addiction deep down because you didn't tell everybody about it. So
hold on. So, Paul said hunting for food and conservation. That is yes. I like you being engaged with us, Paul. Brian, I kill deer for Stacy's Hellcats around the world. I appreciate you. We don't want to hit one of those motherfuckers. Take them down. But keep going. I'm sorry. That was fun.
no. Keep killing the deer. They're delicious. Man, I
For
love
some
eating
people,
deer.
some people love deer meat, and that's why I wouldn't hunt deer, because I don't like the meat. I don't. For me, unless you're doing it for a tax write-off, I don't understand why I would do it, and that's not for anything purpose.
Out of all the deer I've ever eaten, Matt Little, he comes to the office with the best recipes for deer.
Shit, Chris Mariota was the first deer. I don't know if it was deer. That was
Chris
good.
Mariota, another guy who knows his way around a farm.
Sausage.
If you had to go, present company excluded, if you had to go anywhere, like if you had to go somewhere and survive off the land with anybody you know other than me, then I think you'd pick me, not to be vain. Who would you pick?
I wouldn't pick you first. I'd pick my Uncle Kelly. Hate to say it. You know what I'm saying? He
Okay,
like-
I don't know
like-
your
like
Uncle Kelly. So he must
33
be a
years
pretty
in the
cool guy.
military, like he knows his way around. He's been doing this. He knows how to survive. I have another friend named JC that I would love you to meet. They're very, very, very similar.
JC and Casey. Oh my
he
god.
was another military guy.
And Stacy
You-
show.
you. That would be another one. But I actually have a pretty good arsenal of people that I know their way, right? Like, I know one thing: I can get the animal, I can dress the animal, I can prep the animal, right? I also know that I can't run 40 miles, right? I don't think any of them can either, right? But I do know majority of you guys could probably run 3 at a quick, brisk pace. You know what I'm saying? Not super speed, but I don't. Those would be the ones, and it's again because y'all know some shit. But what about you?
I was gonna say, know who I pick? I pick Tuck. Because I think, I mean, first I'd pick my wife because I mean I know I can take care of myself plus one, so she'd be the one I want to spend time with. But let's say, for example, shut the fuck up. Let's say, for example, she was visiting her dad or something, and I had to pick somebody. I picked Tucker, Tuck, because where I'd be like either fishing or getting the food, which I'm sure he can do. He'd be the botanist, man. He'd be taking care of the plants.
He's got the land.
Well,
No,
not
I'm saying,
necessarily
like, the
not
river,
having the land.
The river's right there.
I'm thinking we're living off the land. He's growing the weed, and I'm getting the food and building the shelter. So we're both putting in for it. So that's if I'm stuck somewhere out in nature, you best believe I'll be high 24/7, and not just like a little bit high, like super high, but not too high where I forget to like.
Then you're
reel in the
dehydrated. You
fish.
need water. You have to have water purification. You get too high, you fall asleep.
Man.
You let the fire go out.
Are you even seeing what's
There's
in my
too many
brain right now?
things.
Do you not see that waterfall? It's like a waterfall with fresh water and fish jumping out.
Look,
All
this
you gotta
sounds
do
to
is
me like
catch 'em in a
somebody might have a vice, or is this an addiction? Which one is it, Casey?
Oh my God! Here comes a unicorn. You know, if you cut off a unicorn spike, it actually has
You know,
magical
unicorns
powers.
are real.
Yeah.
Where were they?
They're in the ocean. They had the
Fucking rhinoceroses.
rhinoceroses have
No, real shit. That was the original
they
unicorn.
have the 2 humps though.
Nope, not the African one that has one single horn.
Nope,
You have 2. There's several different types of rhinoceroses. There is one individual rhinoceros that only grows one horn.
Do you want to know why that is? Because it's the second the horn is inverted. It's an inverted horn. They call it the inverted rhinoceros.
Hey,
I've heard of it. Just like there's 2 camels. There's a camel with 1 hump, and there's a camel with 2 or 4 humps.
Some people just can't accept new knowledge.
Some people doesn't know how many humps are in a camel.
It could be 1 or 2
or 3.
I didn't know the third. I've never seen a third humped camel.
If they have enough fat and lard and to go in the sacks, they create a 4th sack.
I don't like deer meat because my dad fed it to me for breakfast and told me it was steak, and I knew we were too poor to afford steak. And then I found out later it was deer meat, and I was pissed because it wasn't good. So, if that's my reason. But yes, deer chili I've heard is delicious. He loves deer meat. That was responding to Paul.
I like most meats. I mean, I like
coon.
Man, I
So
thought
addicted
of
to
too
meat?
many. I thought of too many jokes when you
Is
said
meat
it. I couldn't answer
vice,
right
or is meat an addiction?
away. Ooh, meat. I don't know.
Ask a vegan,
Like
they'll
Dennis
say an
Leary
addiction.
says, when I eat meat, it's like tasting murder. It's just the blood, the savageness. It's like, oh, I need some red
So
meat.
you would eat a human.
Oh hell yeah, hands down, 100%. If you say, Casey, this is 100% legit that we can serve this to you, and it is a human, would you like to see a picture of the person? I would say yes, yes, and double yes.
Ryan. I also kill camels to save all the Ford Pintos around the world.
Ford Pintos. Those are the shit.
He's wild. Now, as far as
Carl Jones said he wanted to buy a camel back in the day. He was like,
hey,
I walked
my
in.
son swears that's his favorite fucking animal. It doesn't make sense. I'm like,
Carl was
why?
Googling it.
Why do you want a
It was
camel?
funny.
Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck,
You
man?
can buy one. It's
I
pretty
know
sick.
you can. You could buy hyenas too. I looked
How would you
into
want to buy a camel? That would be pretty fun though. Having a camel just to.
But you gonna rent it out for rides?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But let's get back to it. What's
Dude, have you ever
advice
got
versus an
roadhead
addiction?
on a camel? You know camels won't move unless they're perfectly balanced with their load.
You know that camels can eat spiked goods, like spiked cactus and shit.
They can
No.
also drink spiked liquids like punch with vodka.
I don't know. I do know that it was interesting seeing that their mouth has a layer that allows them to eat spiky, piney items.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. I've seen that before, and their lip gets all weird, and it shows them when they're eating it. Yeah, yeah, that's what it looks like. By the way,
I saw myself on camera.
As far as I'm curious, what in your mind? So, what would be a vice? What's a vice in your life?
Oh, ice cream, baby. It's not good for me. And lactose. I'm a grown man. I'm not on a titty anymore. Unless it's my wife. So, hey, what's up, baby? I'm just kidding. No, definitely ice cream. I go through at least 2 or 3 things of Bluebell a week. Not to mention the Edie's half-fat, slow-churned vanilla that I use for my shakes mixed with blueberries and strawberries. And last night, I stopped using. I eat so many shakes and drink so many shakes at night. I stopped putting it in cups because not only do I have to wash that cup and the blender, but I got to fill up the cup, sit on the couch, finish it all, then get up and pour the rest out, and then sit back down instead of just taking the blade out of the ninja thing, getting an extra long spoon. Ask Paula, and I sit on the couch, and by the time I'm done, like last night, I finish it. My body goes into such a cold shutdown from eating like a gallon of frozenness that's my body's trying to warm in my stomach. I literally shake walk into the next room like a goddamn junkie to grab a jacket or something or a coat to sit on the couch.
Sounds like an addiction.
It did. And last night, Paul was like, "Don't use the bed comforter." I was like, "I'll change it when I can move." Dude, that is an addiction.
Okay, so that would okay. So
never mind. That's an addiction.
I was like that. Yeah, I was like,
I quit drinking, and my ice cream intake went up through the roof. It's not good for me, but at least it'll kill me slower than things that are actually going to kill me, unlike alcohol that would have killed me. So it's less of an addiction. Let's say that.
Okay, but it's still an addiction.
100%.
Cigarettes for me, as you know. Cigarettes. My vice would be Mountain Dew. My addiction is cigarettes.
Nice Mountain Dew. Yeah, Mountain Dew's horrible, man. It's like my Monster thing. I mean, I was saying I don't drink any sodas and stuff, but I was like, I take a lot of Monsters.
This is what we're talking about. What makes the difference? Like, what makes one what? And I said an addiction makes you sacrifice your well-being, right? So when you see alcoholics shake it in the morning so they drink before work knowing they're jeopardizing their job, or drinking and then getting in a vehicle knowing you're jeopardizing people's lives, that would label it an addiction.
Yeah.
Now, as a vice, I always say it's something you could give up and live without. You just really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree there?
Let's see. Something that you can just give up and you'd be okay without it. That's a vice. An addiction is something that you need to have or affects your mood, right?
Yeah, one more time, I was laughing at Brian. Making a shake makes fat people's hiding and making shakes feel fat. It takes like a third of a quart.
That would be a funny video if like it shows like someone like me putting the scoops of ice cream in. All of a sudden I hit blend and it goes and all of a sudden all these fat people heads pop up.
No, you go to take it off and it's me standing there taking a drink. That's what it would
My
be.
shakes are so delicious. My shakes will make you quake. My fries will cross your eyes. What movie? What movie?
My fries will cross your eyes.
What movie?
Nah, you know not to ask me that question.
Oh, someone's gonna say it in the comments. Nah, I'm sure Ryan or somebody will say it. My shakes will make you quake.
Food. Alcohol-fired foods, cocaine, and definitely camel meat.
Okay. Cocaine.
Hey, that sounds like a wild fucking night.
That's a bachelor party.
Hey, that's a bender. That's a fucking bender. He said fried foods.
Fried food is a vice. No, that could be I don't know. Now, if it affects your health in a negative way, where like alcohol, you're going to kill yourself.
600-pound me. Have you ever seen that?
If you're 600 pounds and you're eating fried chicken, that's an addiction.
Get baked chicken, baby.
If you're Casey Falkengren and you're eating fried chicken, it's a vice. Would you agree with that?
I mean, what if you're addicted to fried chicken and working out?
Then that's okay. It's a vice.
No, you're addicted to it.
That's saying you're functioning
can't
alcoholic.
go to the gym unless I down a 12-pack of chicken. But I'm going right after that last thigh.
Now you sound like that dude from Major League that has to eat the whole chicken. What was the name?
Oh, Longest Yard, guys. Longest Yard. We got somebody.
Longest Yard.
Hey, Paul got it.
Paul.
Paul. Yes,
hey,
sir.
Cheers. All right, you won a Stacy and Casey Show T-shirt.
Okay. Well, there we go. So with that, as far as let's see here, Ryan. Well, I'm fat, and I will fry chicken, and then I will fry my fried chicken again, called twice fried chicken. I like trashed wings. What's your favorite chicken wing?
My favorite chicken wing is going to be barbecued spicy, to where the it's barbecued long enough where all the fat shrinks up to nothing, and it's extra spicy. Not dry, but not.
Hey, great answer, Paula. What about non-health related addictions? Sex. I don't believe you can ever be addicted to a workout. It's good for your health.
Paula
Sex
does have
is
a
good
sex
for
addiction.
you. I'm addicted. Say what?
Paula does have a sex addiction. So
I do too.
she's probably
So,
triggered
like-
right now. I'm coming home, babe. I gotta go.
No, as far as I think, there's ways to look at it. Sex could be a workout. Are we doing it for pleasure? Are we fucking a bunch of people? Are we fucking one person? Like there's a lot that goes into this.
There's actually a movie based on that about some dude that had a sex addiction.
Hey, there we go.
I forget. It was like I watched it when I was a kid because I think I knew there's nudity in it, but there actually had a good story to it where he was addicted to sex.
I think people have, and I think sex addiction is. And I'm gonna say this. I know some men that can be sexually addicted. I almost think when women are sex addicts, it's gonna sound real sexist and not sound bad here, but it's attention needed. But men are too. Like when men are laying next to a woman every night, you need validation. You don't feel comfortable alone. Like there's something missing there that you're addicted to, and it's not the sex. I think it's more so of not feeling alone. And it's sad when you think about it because so many people are uncomfortable being with their own inner thoughts. That's disgusting.
I have a scab on my hand from forging. Sorry.
It wouldn't be a health risk, but it would be an addiction. It could definitely be an addiction. Definitely be an addiction. They're Sex Addicts Anonymous. Like this is obvious. Sex is definitely an addictive thing.
It kind of reminds me of Love Potion #9, the movie. It's an old ass movie of Sandra Bullock, and they're testing the sex potion and the strength of it, and they make it too potent. They give it to a monkey, and he's losing his mind all sexually. I think people are kind of the same way. There's like a point in your life, maybe a point in your life where maybe the hormones are at its peak. Because I know that was more of a bigger deal in my 20s when I was like, in Hawaii, for example, it was all about going out and getting some ass, But now it's
thought y'all said an addiction was a health risk. Isn't a sex addiction a health risk?
100%.
All the STDs floating around.
I agree with you 100%. So
I think that's probably the biggest health risk on the planet.
So I think when you know enough about certain things, it becomes an addiction if you continue to do it. Maybe ignorance is bliss.
A vouchable answer.
Another Matrix reference to that one guy who says ignorance is bliss when he's eating the steak. Yeah, if you don't know any better, then you're going to do what feels good.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're taught otherwise, or it doesn't.
If you're
feel
deliberately
right,
doing wrong, it's totally different than accidentally doing wrong, though, too. And ignorance is bliss in his situation. That's one of those things that you're doing wrong and you're doing it anyway. I think people can learn from a moment and realize that was wrong. Don't do that again. But when it comes to addiction, they keep choosing to do wrong. Crackheads, look at them.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like meth heads, heroin junkies. These people will literally end their life over something. And it's devastating. As a person around them watching a person with addiction, you can see people that are sex addicts ruining their life. You know what I mean? Like, you can be addicted to anything.
Break up a family. Break up your family.
I mean, but you can be addicted to technically anything if it's an unhealthy amount.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you could be addicted to masturbation. You could be addicted to... There are people addicted to eating glue. You know what I mean? Like, I remember watching weird things on TV as a kid. What was it on MTV? The True Life I'm addicted to, or True Life this, or True Life that. They had these segments of people that were into weird things,
eating glass and shit.
But I think sometimes an addiction can be good for you. What's an addiction that you think could be good for you?
Well, being organized.
Organized.
Yeah.
Education.
Your health, being not obsessed, but being overly concerned about what you're putting into your body.
I like what you just said. When it's a positive thing, people use the word obsessed, right? Like people are obsessed with reading, right? People are obsessed with cooking, right? They're obsessed with their car. All we did was switch the word from addiction to obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing.
So if it's
There are people that are addicted to cooking, right? They refuse to eat out. Now, they'll never say it's addicted because they're obsessed, right? I know I'm obsessed with my car. Some would say you're addicted to your car. Hey, interchangeable words. I do think, though, that there are healthy addictions. And I think education is one of those healthy addictions when you want to learn, as long as it doesn't stop you from taking care of your day-to-day tasks. Wouldn't you say?
Ignorance is bliss. Because you brought up ignorant, going out to eat. Some people, only eat at home. Is that an addiction? But when you learn that it's healthier to eat things that are put together fresh and not through or store bought or going through a restaurant or wherever they get their food, it's like once you know better, then is it an addiction going out to eat? I know it was an addiction to me to eat Taco Bell twice a day when I was not caring about my health, but when I was honest with myself, it's like, man, this is straight poison I'm putting into my body.
Mhm.
And once I was honest with myself, if I continued to do it, that would have been an addiction, right?
You're not doing it to hurt yourself. You're doing it in moderation. You're not doing it excessively. You're not eating Taco Bell 6 times a day. I mean, there's things here that I think
moderation
everything
that
has.
how about weed?
I think there's a lot more people addicted to weed than they want to say.
100%. I know I'm not addicted to weed.
Say you were. I'm saying I think there are a lot of people out
God
there.
damn it, Stacy! I'm not addicted to weed. Just kidding.
Hey, Ryan, now that's an addiction to have. I'm addicted to stocks affiliated with money, of course. Hey, that's the one.
So what are you doing working?
Some people didn't sell at
Let
the right
us
time.
know.
Some people needed work, just not
Hold it out of me,
spend
bro.
money. But I will say, I am addicted to cigarettes. Casey is addicted to.
Paula.
I'm addicted to laughter. What you addicted to?
I am addicted to ice cream. I am addicted to chickens.
I could say that. I could believe that. I don't think you're addicted. I think you just really enjoy it.
That's a vice.
There you go.
I don't know how to talk about.
I think a vice is one of those things that it's an expense, but it doesn't hinder your life.
Chickens to me has been such a spiritual, and I hate that word. I don't hate it, but I dislike that word.
There you go. Addiction means you put that before all.
Oh, okay.
Always in the front of your mind, your first thought. I believe Paula there. I mean, I think about people that are addicted to drugs and they literally put it above everything.
Yeah, that's why they say you can never trust a crackhead because they will lie, cheat, and steal to get that crack. That is an addiction. And they'll lie about it. If you lie about it, then you're insecure about it. You can't back it up. And then it's probably not the right thing, whether it be moral or an addiction. If you're lying about it, then that means you can't stand on what you're doing.
That is a good way to look at it. If you have to lie about what you're doing, then you know you're hiding it. That is a good way to look at it. Because then you know you're in a dark spot that people are viewing you differently and you're still choosing to do it. It's a sad thought. I've seen people that have battled it. I had a family member battle it. I pray for everybody dealing with addiction. It's a hell of a thing. No matter what it is, you could be addicted to success. And I think addicted to attention or to.
I was going to say attention.
The most deadly right now, success and attention that people are facing.
Think of that person that never really got attention the right way and goes online and posts one thing and it goes viral or a bunch of people like it. That shot of adrenaline that person gets,
they chase it like a drug.
They start chasing it, and that's that person that's glued to their phone. They're posting every 2 seconds, every meal, every child event, saying how great it is. Those are the people I deep down, I don't want to say feel sorry for, because that means I'm looking down on them, and I'm not. I wish they can see life on the other side of their phone without taking a picture of it. And this is coming from a guy who takes a lot of chicken videos, so I get it.
Ryan, he said, that right there is the difference, boys. People hide addiction. People constantly think about obsessions.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we were talking about this, and I think about, who I was in a past life. And when you think about vices and addictions, something we talked about in a different dimension, what would we be, right?
Yeah.
What do you think in another dimension your vice would be?
Okay. I thought about this. In another dimension. That's the title here.
What would your vice be?
A vice.
What would your vice be in another dimension?
Oh, ping pong. It would be my vice, my lifestyle. I have so much fun playing ping pong in a good match. I will stop what I'm doing. I will play broken. I will re-injure myself to play some ping pong, especially with Zach. Zach Attack. One love, buddy. And it's 1-1. We need that third match tomorrow, mother sucker. So yeah, I'd be a professional ping pong player. They'd call me White Lightning. I'd be on the front of ping pong paddles, my face going with my hot sidekick, Paula the Power. She'd be a power hitter. I don't know, probably not ping pong, but something else, maybe boxing.
What would you said pool was her thing? Wouldn't she be a pool?
No, Paula the pool player. Because I'm telling you, I played with her once, and babe, I'm so sorry. We need to go out more.
See me on the table.
You say that. I pride myself in a lot of sports. Pool, I played a lot in North Carolina when I was in the Marines. That because there's nothing to do there.
See me on the table.
Paula whooped my ass. And when I say I was scared after her first shot, she lined it up. She hit the ball solid. She had follow through. She didn't, and it was so precise. I thought immediately, shit. Because I don't like getting beat. I don't care who it is. But yeah, she's good. She's good.
See me on the table.
And hey, and if anybody has thought about this before, what would you be in another dimension? Let's hear it.
Yeah, I want to hear what y'all would have been.
I want Ryan. Ryan, what would you be in another dimension? I want to hear about
Ryan. A fucking sniper.
You'd be a sniper?
100%.
Oh, okay.
My fascination with firearms, long distance shooting, zeroing weapons, accuracy through wind. I could see because like I have the urge to want to be great. But in a different dimension, I would have grew up with money, so I would have been physically fit, so I wouldn't have had the urge to want to be great. I would have been great. You know what I'm saying? Because it's another dimension, right?
Of course.
Yeah. And at that point, my peak would have been not even a sniper for like, maybe it wouldn't have been a sniper. It would be like a target shooter for the Olympics or a long distance range master that takes people on like fucking hikes and expeditions to go hunt. You know what I mean? Like that would be some shit I'd be into. Like just with the different shit that I like.
Like Tom Berenger and Sniper.
And like, those who know me, like what's crazy is you're probably like, I couldn't see it. Nah, like if you know me, like Casey knows. Like we've fired weapons, we've done archery, like we've talked knives. Like I'm really with that shit. I'm just not in shape to do that shit. And I could go get in shape.
But in another dimension where he's fucking jacked, and picture it.
It's totally
close your eyes.
But my thing is, in this dimension, I'm just gonna be honest. I don't have.
Hey, you look good in that dimension, bro.
And I appreciate it. I'm pretty now, so it don't matter. But as far as I've never had, like, I had that urge. Me and Steve DeClue did it for a while, and I was in the best shape of my life, real shit. And then COVID hit. COVID fucked everybody's lives up, but it rerouted paths that just were no longer my path anymore. So, like, where some people found sobriety, I found restaurants and fast food through DoorDash because I was lazy, and it is what it is. I love gold, silver, and precious metals. Hey, real shit. Hey, and I don't doubt that you're a pool shark, you know? Hey, I'm just saying I'm something nice on the table is all I'm saying.
It just so happens.
You can ask about me too a little bit. There's people in the building that have really played me.
And you know what?
It's serious.
I got my own stick because when I was COVID salesman rich, you know, as we all were, which I was just gonna say, it's kind of funny. During COVID, I hit 3 all-time highs in my life. I set 3 records: longest beard ever, longest hair, and fattest body. All during COVID. I also got a really good pool stick. It's all green and emerald green in the handle. Hey, I'll bring it tomorrow.
That's okay.
I'll play work.
I'm playing on that shitty ass table. If we're gonna play, see me at Teachers on a real table. That cockeyed ass table. I've played on it a couple times, and the shot is clean as shit. We know it's going in, and then you're like, I don't go in.
Right, I don't feel like driving anywhere. We can just talk about it.
We don't have to drive. I mean, look, it's right across the street.
Oh, we should play a video game instead.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Were you scared? Scared you'll play on phones? You'll play on my phone?
I mean, we could do that, but
man, I'll whoop your ass.
Correlate to the real table precision.
I'm scared.
Pool would have been another one in another dimension, but
scared, bro.
As far as I just think about that in another dimension, because all the shit right now in another dimension, where are we? Or are we in another dimension with the pyramid
Remember the whole
changes?
thing that was CERN was going on when they're doing that whole
Aliens?
molecule, the God particle?
All the shit that's changed. We got to be in another dimension. We got aliens are real now. Portals opening in the sky. Fucking life-changing weather. Storms we've never seen.
8-cylinder post under friggin' pyramids that go 2 miles down.
Snow in Florida. This is all just recapping this year. We have to be.
Let's not forget the crazy
another
fires
dimension.
in California and Hawaii.
No, Hawaii was last year, but just this year, we got to be in a new dimension. Like, what
Too much
is
stuff is
normal
bleeding
anymore?
over. I don't know.
What is normal?
What is normal?
The one thing you could think about as a world, like, that's crazy. The pyramids, those are amazing. Now it's a power bank.
And you know what?
All the shit conspiracy theorists have been saying for 20 years, 50 years, it's a power bank. Now they're coming out and saying it's a power bank. They said aliens are real this year. The Pope is dying, y'all. They're saying we're at the last Pope before the Antichrist, okay? This is the last slot in the Roman Catholic Church for popes. We might be at the end of times.
And while this is all going on, you're going to die one day
that's
without
what everybody does.
without knowing the answer. So while we're waiting for the answer, you're gonna have to fill that void with shit to do.
What if you're one that's taken? You're anointed before the tribulations. And all of a sudden you look over, like we're at work, and we look over and you just see a motherfucker start levitating and just up and gone.
Then that'd be some freaky movie shit.
The fuck would you do?
I would wait my turn. In the meantime, try to do something fun.
God, why didn't I make the cut? God, please, what can I do now to make the cut? God, I don't want to be here through the craziness, God. But then there's the other side of that. Is like,
I would immediately judge the person floating. Was that person a good person? Is that a demon? Did they ever steal a bike from another kid's golden ticket?
I didn't do that. Honestly, in the process, I was thinking in my head, God, I hope this goes on the good side of that book. And that sounds selfish and terrible, but I was dead ass like, yeah, man, I hope this gets credit. I hope this gets credit where credit is due. But as far as I know, Casey, I want to hear your thoughts. You had thoughts this week. What were your thoughts?
Oh, as far as what was I getting at just now?
People die.
They do die.
Every day.
Every single day.
Every second, every minute.
Every minute.
Every breath.
Remember that one guy that you knew and you just heard about on Facebook that he died, whether he took his own life and he felt sorry for his family, or he died in a car accident, or he died because he had cancer? No matter what, you're going to die. So in the meantime,
just make sure if you're going to pray about your death, just let it be peaceful. You don't want to go gargling or fucking grabbing your chest in pain.
In the meantime, and actually most of the pain from dying comes from fighting it. And not saying to accept death when it hits you, but that's a different story. My point being, in the meantime, fill the void. You have to fill void with something that means a lot to you. And this is where my mind was kind of going on the way to work. I was thinking of things that I truly value over things that I can have that money would buy, and would I trade them for that item? For example, think of something that's precious to you that you have that maybe a family member gave you.
I've thought 100 times over if I could get rid of my Hellcat, get all my money back, and replay every memory of death on memories making with my son of seeing different places.
No, I'm talking about. Wait, say that again.
When you say material, I think about how I wish I could get rid of the Hellcat.
Okay.
Relive all those memories, visiting different places, and giving him memories that he'll replay at the end of time.
In a time, in what? Who's
in his life?
Your son's?
I'll have mine replay, but I hope that I give him enough memories with us that I'm a section of his recap in life.
Okay, so for you, it's more important a memory, a thought, something that's not even a material. You're willing to give up your most precious item, being your Hellcat, as far as an item goes.
Yeah.
And it is a gorgeous fucking car. I get privileged every time I get to ride it, other than him scaring me sometimes. I don't like being scared as the passenger. I like being in control.
Seatbelts. Seatbelts.
But no, and that's my point exactly. And if you think about that one item that you love, let's say your grandfather had a cane that he actually whittled by hand, and down up to the little design at the top, or it has a metal or whatever.
Definitely.
And he gifted that to you, and that's all you have to remember him by. And you know he made that with his own bare hands. That'd be your pride and joy. You wouldn't go out there and start beating trees with it. You would take pride in it, but why? That thing is not replicable to anybody. He put his mind, his vision, his art, and whether you think about it this way or you instinctively feel it, when somebody puts their mind and their craft down and makes it into an actual physical thing that represents what they're visualizing, it's so unique. It's something money can't buy. So I'm just saying, not to get, this is my deep thoughts on having this shit.
Sorry. It really fucked me up.
Okay, Ryan, what did Ryan say?
He said the new normal is killing camels, murking deer while drinking a beer, smoking a cigarette after snorting a line, cooking eggs while thinking about gold, rolling in a Hellcat, making memories, quotes winning. He summarized the show. That's his new normal. That's what he wants. Oh, shit, I'm sorry. Because I know what kind of...
Remember the reporter that got the fly in his mouth?
Yeah.
No, anyway. Yeah, that's my point. When you die, when you start filling the void, instead of like just buying shit or just, push up a button or whatever, put your hands to something real, pick up a craft, fucking, you'd be surprised how much it takes you.
When you die?
It doesn't matter. If you're more concerned about how people think of you when you're dead and gone, then you're not living life in the now.
No, I'm asking.
It's like,
but this goes into what people enjoy, right? What we talked about last week.
What if they don't appreciate it? My point
No,
is,
I'm saying you enjoyed making that. That's what you enjoy, right? But what about those materialistic people that have never, and I'm asking for your advice for these people, so I want you to know where I'm coming from. For those people that are materialistic, their get-offs are new shoes or new purses or new whatever. What is your advice for them to find what you're saying for them to search for? That non-material thing, because even what you said, there's material there. There's a cane.
Either you're buying something or you're appreciating something that somebody has produced or made. If it was somebody that, man, how do you say this? The point I was at, when you make something uniquely by yourself and it's art, whether you appreciate it or somebody else, but if you've had that feeling where you've appreciated, it
it's worth it to you. It's just in my mind, anytime you get that feeling of joy, pride, a sense of self-worth, which
I bought so much shit when I was in quarantine and I made money and I was like thinking, man, if I wanted it, I bought it. I didn't buy it or nothing like that, but I never really wanted a Porsche. I wanted some cool fucking drones and shit. I lost the drone the first day. I got drunk. I flew it on the roof. I was like, oh, well, that's that. There's a couple $100 gone. I didn't give a shit. It was money. I made it. It's no big deal.
It's for fun.
When I make these knives, or I made that fucking 16 by 16, damn near the size of a house chicken coop, and I do it from start to finish. I visualize it. I don't read a script off of somebody else that designed it. I made it and I constructed it. It doesn't matter if it's appreciated. I appreciate it. My wife appreciates it. Anybody that knows me knows
how much you appreciate it.
And that's my deep thought. My thought is, if you don't have shit that you appreciate and all you are is going to be remembered by your Clash of Clans fucking village, or how great you were at video games,
how big your dick was,
or how big your dick was, no one's going to give a shit other than the person that has to fucking make the extra big coffin. Because you got a big dick, you need a big coffin.
I mean, you might get cremated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Extra big urn.
Do you want to get cremated, or do you want to get a bird?
Cremated. My parents were cremated. I'll be cremated with them.
Okay, so you're gonna get put somewhere.
So it's funny you say that, because I actually had a mental breakdown the other day. Thanks for making me think about this. Was how my parents.
That's what I came into the show knowing.
In their own chests, and I was thinking the other day how my mom wanted to be spread everywhere I go, and I haven't really gone anywhere, and that kind of bothers me. And then my dad never really gave us a definitive what he wanted. And I went to Table Rock and I had the plan, because that's somewhere he always wanted to go. And I was like, I'm going to find the right place to let him go. And then I got there and I was like, I don't know if I'm selfish and I don't want to let you go.
I remember you telling me about that.
Or is it not the right place? Right. And I know it's a selfish thing that I don't want to let you go, even though this isn't you in that box. Right. But I also wonder in my mind, is there ever going to be a place beautiful beautiful enough that I'm going to see that I want to leave them there. And so my new goal in life has been to find that place that's so beautiful that I want to leave them there together.
Like when you see it, you're gonna be like,
I'll know.
"Damn, this is
I'll
the place."
feel it, and everything in me will know.
Like,
and I can leave them there together.
like closure.
Exactly.
So I feel you, dude. That's fucking awesome.
Right.
I mean, and that's something that he would trade his Durango for. 100%. I'm just saying.
100%. That's why I said the traveling. So
that's the feeling that really just shit you fucking mean, dude.
And shit that you care
Love
about.
It. Love it.
I will say, live this life thinking, or live this week. Take a moment, appreciate what you appreciate, love what you love, give them a hug, give them a kiss.
Tell them you love them.
Tell them you love them. And God is good. And I'm Stacy.
I'm Casey.
You guys have a great night.
Peace.